Okay, so now how to come up with our rotation rules without having to memorize anything. So like we did before, you want to start with a point, an easy point that has a different x and a different y. So I'm actually going to start using the point 1, 4. I like it better. I'm going to graph that point, and I'm going to label it. Now, to get these rotations and to get these rules, I'm going to be working in 90-degree chunks. 90 degrees are easy to visualize. And 90 degrees, so the first one is going to be 90 degrees, and it's going to be a counterclockwise rotation. Just like with our reflections, using this point 1, 4, what you're going to see is this x value and y value is not going to change. Yes, it'll change as far as locations, but you'll still see the 1 and you'll still see the 4, whether it's an opposite or whether it's been flip-flopped. Now, before I start with my rotation, a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, I have to see a 90-degree angle. So what I'm going to start off and do is I'm going to create a segment from the origin to that point, because when we rotate, we have to have a pivot point, and I always choose the origin as my pivot point. So there's my segment, and so 90 degrees is perpendicular. It's a right angle. So I had a rise of 4 and a right of 1. So what is going to be perpendicular to that? Well, you want to flip it and change the sign. So -4, 1. So if I go sorry, I wrote it backwards. Did anybody notice that? I have a slope of 4/1, rise of 4, right 1. Flip that, so my perpendicular is going to be -1/4. All right, got to get it right, Miss Green. So, perpendicular, right angles, 90 degrees. So this one had a slope of rise 4, right 1. Perpendicular slope is going to be flip it, change the sign, so -1, 4. So now I'm going to graph my point. So -4, 1. I can check my slope if I need to from the origin to that point. Probably should. So down 1, right 4. And do you see the right angle here? Again, if you need to, take a Post-it note, stick it to see that right angle. Got it? So what point did I just graph? So I graphed the point -4, +1. So now let's come up with those algebraic rules. So my original was the point 1, 4. 1, 4 becomes -4, 1. Okay, so what happened? Well, notice how my x and my y switch places. So there's my original. So how do I write that switch or that flip-flop? Well, y, x. And also noticed how the sign on my y changed. So what is the rule? xy becomes -yx. Well, again, if you're not sure, you can apply it to any point you want to, anywhere in the coordinate plane. But this algebraic rule is always going to work for a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So now let's take a look at the 180-degree counterclockwise rotation. So again, take your point 1, 4. And truth is, as we learned earlier, it doesn't matter if I go clockwise or counterclockwise. It's going to be in the same place. So 180 degrees is 2 90-degree turns. So 90 degrees is here, So where would 180 degrees be? Well, probably if I guesstimate, again, the 1 and the 4 still want to see it. I'm going to say maybe -1, maybe -1, -4. Well, how am I going to know if that works or not? Draw your segment. And take a look. Draw your two 90-degree angle marks to see. And there we go. We've got the two 90-degree angles, so we have the 180. So a 180-degree counterclockwise rotation places us at -1, -4. Okay, so let's write the rules. So 1, 4 becomes -1, -4. So what happened to XY? Looks like the signs changed on both X and Y. So XY becomes opposite X, opposite Y. Okay, so one more to go. 270-degree counterclockwise rotation. So that is 3 90-degree turns. So let's start with our point, 1, 4. So where is that going to be? If I'm going to go 3 turns, so here is 1 90-degree turn. And if you have to, draw your angles every time. So there's my 1 angle, okay? So then the -1, -4. There's my 180 degrees. So I need one more 90-degree angle. You could also go 270 degrees counterclockwise is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. So where am I going to be located? Probably, again, those values aren't going to change. You're still going to see a 4 and a 1 somewhere. And like we said before here, our slope is rise 4, right 1. So maybe down 1 over 4. So let's see if we got it. And take a look. I have my 4 right angles. Take your paper, line it up and check. So where am I located? My 270-degree counterclockwise rotation is at the point 4, -1. So let's write that rule. So 1, 4 becomes 4, -1. So it looks like XY. Looks like we switch to YX. Sorry, the kids in the background. Switches becomes YX. And then it appears that we changed the sign on the X. Boys. So, in a nutshell, before things get even more crazy, XY becomes Y -X. You flip-flop them, you change your sign on your X. Okay, hope things are going well. This was a quick review on how to come up with your rules without ever having to memorize.